What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Bullets, Barbells, and Barbecue. I'm your host, Brett. I got Chris, the artist formerly known as Heavy C. I got Matt, 75 Hardish. We'll get to it. And Tanner the Head. I got our show partners, Elite Nutrition in Omaha. Check them out at elitenutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout. Or you can go in the store and yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
We got Rosewood Block. They make the best cutting boards in barbecue. Fully customizable. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout. Get 10% off there as well. This is our check-in episode / tips, tricks, and who's it's and what's it's. Yeah, you never know what we're going to talk about, you know?
Lots of what's it's.
Yep. Chris, you're still running? Did you run this week outside?
I did 3 times this week. Total of 6 miles.
Were you faster?
What's your time? What's your
I'm
time,
not tracking
Chris?
time right now. I'm just trying to get my endurance up.
So do you
I'm
have
trying to
a
run
date
more.
when you're going to try to project this time, like when you're going to do it?
No.
Why don't you set a date?
We need a goal.
Yeah.
By the end of
The
the
last
year.
podcast, we
No.
just talked about people being less pieces of shit is what we're shooting for this year.
Yeah, don't be
I
a
don't know.
loser
By the end of
too.
the summer, I'm going to hit it.
So end of the summer is what? Like we're talking August
we'll
31st?
talk August.
4-minute
End of
mile.
August.
Before Nebraska's first football game.
When is that? What's
If you
the-
say Nebraska's first win, you got more chances.
Who's the first game this year?
It'll be end of August, beginning of September.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do that.
All right,
Yeah,
everybody
do it.
heard it. So
Yep.
he's got it. And what's it? You're going to run what?
3 miles in 24 minutes.
3 miles and 20. Do you want us to all be there?
No.
We could probably record live from there. This shit's all battery
You can bring
powered.
the side by side and just like
Drive next to him and throw stuff at him.
You know,
I was going to drive my side by side to his house because it's not that far, but we thought Sarpy County would impound me if I got caught.
Yes.
He
We
said
probably
24 minutes, and I was like, I thought he was going to do 6-minute miles. It's like, isn't that? But no. Okay.
No.
Matt and I-
I
Matt and
got short
I-
legs. Not happening.
Matt and I and Coach X did like, what, a 20-minute mile yesterday?
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
Killing it.
Yeah, that was
crushing
good.
it.
Tanner, you still doing Tom Havlin's workout?
I am.
So is that technically a Jailhouse Strong workout then?
It's called 50 cubed, and I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what 50 cubed means, but it has no correlation to anything that I've done.
Did you actually put the number out there? It doesn't add up to anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's a Jailhouse Strong guy, though, right?
Yeah, he
Or
is
Josh
Josh
Bryant.
Yep.
Josh Bryant's been around for a long time.
What's his program like? Gas Station Ready or something?
Whose?
Josh Bryant.
Well,
He has one?
Jailhouse Strong is his.
Yeah, but I think he has like
Oh.
a Gas Station Ready program. Like,
So we eat like tornadoes and hot dogs and stuff.
Because he did Death Grip
I think
Derek,
it's like
so-
what Chris was talking about with like when you're sitting at a gas station, that's where you're gonna get mugged. Like to be ready.
Oh.
Like gas station ready.
Because he did Death Grip Derek's
Yeah.
programming too, and he's a pretty strong guy.
Yeah, Death Grip Derek, he's a fucking tool. But yeah,
Oh, his Wednesday violence videos were pretty
Dude.
entertaining, though.
like I followed him a little while on Instagram, and like when he popped up, like it actually angered me. Like he does, like he's such a fucking tool bag.
He didn't bother me. He was kind
Oh
of funny.
fuck, he made me want to punch people in the face. So
His fucking.
I feel like that's your normal though.
yeah, but
you
I
got,
don't need
you got a lot of
anything.
hate in your heart, dude. You got to get that figured
Yeah,
out.
right?
Dude, just sometimes people need
Like,
punch.
I dislike
I-
a lot
I
of
agree
people,
with- I
but you
agree with
like.
that.
He dislikes more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he dislikes the idea of people.
Yeah, a lot of people suck.
I like
mean,
when Death Grip Derek made his pond in his backyard and everybody said it looked like a dick from Google Maps.
But yeah, still doing Tom Havlin program. Had 2 freaking rucks this week. And just a fucking shit ton of volume. Like I woke up yesterday, I was in a bad mood. I hurt. Like I was like, I haven't been like sore, like not like my knees are shit or like you injured yourself, but just like sore.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been there in a while. Fuck. I was mad, then freaking walking around the country, freaking wet shoes. I was kind of pissed off about everything.
Get yourself
But-
some boots.
Yeah, I was talking with Tom about boots, and he was like, "You're probably gonna get a blister." He's like, "You're better off just having wet feet than a blister." And I tend to agree.
Tom figured
only
you weren't
out.
here yesterday because you didn't want to have to take a bet on the Chiefs losing. So
Oh, I don't.
that's why he figured you weren't here.
Oh, well, should we text him? I could text him text him right now, and we could make a bet.
Right now. Yeah.
Dude, I want to know what goes on inside Tom's head because it's so smart. When he rattled off like football stats from like 40 years ago and he knew who won, I was like, God, man.
Dude, he's like the fucking Rain Man when it comes to like.
But like of everything.
Yeah, but it's really like sports, like football games,
And he played
like golf.
he played some minor league baseball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not like-
no, he played professional baseball.
Like AAA though.
Yeah. I don't know.
But still, so he's no slouch. But Yeah, dude, he knows like every player on every fucking team, college, NFL. It doesn't matter.
So he is like the one. Like if you and I are disagreeing about football, like I'll just disagree with you, right? But when Tom disagrees with me about something, then I like,
Right.
oh, maybe I have to rethink what
Like
I'm
people
thinking.
cite Tom as their source.
Yeah.
Your wiener inverts a little bit because you got dominated.
Yeah. Like,
Or it might become my poke out a little more.
Yeah.
just sitting there, just a little boner. No, when he starts talking about stats or like he starts talking about like the Chiefs aren't going to score an offensive touchdown against the Ravens, and I'm like, are they not? Like I want to say they're going to, and if Brett said this to me, I'd be like, suck a dick, Brett. They're going to win. But when Tom says it, I'm like, shit. I might be wrong.
Didn't the NFL already post something saying they know who's going to be in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was Ravens.
Oh, that stuff is so dumb.
Ravens 49ers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think
It's
the
like-
Lions
it's like-
could beat the Niners though.
It's like the logo. It's like, do you know how many teams in the NFL have red in their logo? Like, this isn't like you're
mean,
so freaking
The
stupid.
NFL's a little bit probably staged.
Not a chance.
You don't think so?
They did have
You
that
think they
news
fixed
station
the
that,
games?
that was listing
Some of the
the
games aren't fixed.
Okay, I'm not saying that some of the games aren't fixed. I'm not saying there's not point shaving, right?
I mean, the officials have
But-
definitely showed their hand in a few games this year,
Especially with the Chiefs.
You guys are fucking
especially with the
cheaters.
Chiefs.
No, look,
But
the Chiefs
there's
gotta
so
win, guys.
much money on the line every week that I don't think it could be fixed because there's money on both sides, and you have people in Vegas. Like, if it was fixed, like I think you'd have a problem. I think the easiest thing you could do is like in basketball, point shaving schemes that can be real, right? Like, are lines too close, or like, and you call a bunch of fouls at the end to push a number or have an over or close a cover or something. I can see that, but telling me like if you watch the game of football, like you can't tell me that you're going to stage David Tyree's fucking hand on head catch.
Well, that's what I thought about. There's a lot of human error that would throw it off and make it like a fumble or something like that. Was
you just can't stage like who's going to be in the Super Bowl. It's not fucking possible. I'm not saying you can't fuck with a line or fuck with an over or something like that.
or
But
make sure the Chiefs win. I get it. Like
Yeah, you can do that.
like
you
a
do-
pass interference call on a clear
like,
interception.
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that. like,
Or last week when Patrick Mahomes, the ball wasn't out of his hand yet, they called pass interference though at the end of the game,
well, they can't go back to review on that.
which they did for what, like 2 or 3 seasons ago. You could review a pass interference call.
Yeah,
They took that
but
away.
They can't go back to review, and they talked. Here's the thing: they were talking, and I will say the NFL with the extra set of refs that they have, because they bring in 2 sets of refs now. So there's a set of refs on the sideline that talk, and then there's the refs on the field. They seem to be pretty freaking good this playoffs. I feel like they're
As a Chiefs fan, I'm sure you agree that they're pretty good.
the Chiefs did not get any extra calls against Miami or Buffalo.
Buffalo, they called a pass interference call, and the
That
ball was
was
still in Mahomes' hand.
Slow motion makes everyone fucking stupid.
Well, they
Because
can
you're
review
like-
anything they want to. They can watch anything they want to.
They cannot on a pass interference. You cannot go back to video. It has to be, they can only be what is seen on by them. And you're talking a fucking split second. In slow-mo, it's like 2 frames. Oh my God, that is such a dumb call. Yeah, you don't get to watch life in slow-mo. Sorry.
But maybe if it's too close, you shouldn't have called it in the first place. You should have picked the flag up. Said it wasn't a pass interference call.
Well, it was at least illegal contact.
It wasn't because he was still within the 5 yards.
I think it was past 5 yards, but I know they were talking about that on the thing. But when I went back and looked, it was past 5 yards.
They should probably just let Romo officiate most of the games.
I don't know why people hate Romo. I actually like it when
He had a few games where
I'm not a fan of Romo.
he had
I
a few
don't- I
games
don't
where
hate him.
he kind of talked a lot, but he's kind of tapered down.
Somebody
Yeah.
must have said something to him.
But I think Jim Nance also kind of left him out there. He'd be like, no matter what happened, like, what do you think, Tony?
Yeah. I don't hate Romo.
I like Greg Olson actually a lot too. He just sounds like he's super high watching the game.
And I don't mind Troy Aikman except for like on
Fucking whatever.
on certain games though.
Him
on
and Joe
certain-
Buck can't
yeah.
stop blowing each other enough to call a game.
Yeah, I mean there are certain games where it's like, will you just shut the fuck up? Or like Nicole will be like, why are you watching the game on mute? Like, because I got tired of listening to him.
I think it's entertaining. I think Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are entertaining because it just makes me laugh how dumb it entertains me just by how they talk to each other.
When Aaron Rodgers was playing, I don't know how Rodgers could play with just like Aikman up his ass so far. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, so where were we
We got
going
off
with that?
topic
Or-
here.
So-
all right, so everybody's on schedule with their
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Except for
Except for we have someone. Brett, we'll go to another successful story before we go to the failure.
Yeah, we're still jumping. We hit a 38-inch box this week, so
That's impressive.
That's up some. I did have, Claire's been on our podcast before. She hit a 36 this morning.
That's impressive.
Oh shit.
Wow, she has little legs.
She's
That
the one-
probably looked like it
That's
was
like a body height jump.
It was like, well, it was like her entire legs. It was like to her hips. So she took it like a step first,
That's fine.
and then she did one without it. But I was like, that's pretty impressive.
legit.
So I was doing some 36-inch box jumps, but it's the first time every time. I don't even know why I tell you because you're going to pull the video and make you look like an idiot. But like I'll jump and like my knees just tuck under and I lay my knees in the box the first time because I just don't have. And like I used to be able to do that stuff so easy, but like athleticism. I was talking about this the other day. Athleticism, like just being athletic, just falls off. Like you can only keep so much of it.
I think some of athleticism is fearlessness.
That's true. Because I was thinking about that when I was recently started doing some burpees. And I remember, when I would do burpees all the time, like it was easier. And it didn't seem, now you get down there and you start doing burpees like, oh shit, oh, don't want to fall wrong here and bust a wrist or something, And then you feel like you're in slow motion compared to how it used to be when I would do them before. And I'm like, man, athleticism is leaving me.
Well, I think it physically leaves you. I just think it's one of those things that like speed.
Speed is one of those that has been proven. Like as you age, it goes down quicker, or you lose that quicker than you lose strength and some of the other attributes. Like
I
just
feel
one
like
of
I
those
haven't
things
lost
that's just
like I haven't lost strength. Like in some ways I'm stronger than I've ever been. In some ways I'm not. It just depends. But like I feel like strength you can hold on to. And you see those big guys, the big old guys. I mean, there are guys here in their 50s and 60s that are still pretty freaking strong, But athleticism, but I do think it's the fear. Like, the more you've hurt yourself doing things, like you're like, is this worth it? But yeah, every freaking time on that 36-inch box, or every time I go up, it's like double knee, land on top. Okay,
all right, we're good.
Got to clear the brain.
All right.
And then like I walk up and like try and like sneak up on the box, like don't think about it.
Like it's gonna fucking attack you when you jump.
Like I'm just like walking by, like turn and jump real quick, like just clear your brain. Like okay, good. Now I got.
Yeah, I
this
think
out of
that's
it.
the fearlessness. But on the same end, Craig's back in town, and Craig, if a lot of people don't know, we never talk, but when we very first opened the gym, Craig was our business partner. I've trained Craig for years, and he's back in town right now, and so he did some jumps with us, and me and Coach X did 38, and fucking Craig took a run at it, got his feet on it, but just didn't land it. I was like, man, and he's like 50 something, so also impressive.
That is impressive.
But yeah, so it's been good. Then when I did my ruck with Matt yesterday, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was
Man,
pretty nice out for it yesterday.
When you
was really
take that
nice.
ruck pack off, like especially when like you're
Sweaty.
well, it's sweaty, but like your shoulders.
Or just like pulled back and down.
It like you go to move and it's like shit's just not moving the same. Like you just feel like off.
It's like when you lean against the wall with your arm and then your arm keeps raising up in the air. Remember that old trick back in the day? Push against it and you walk away and your arm keeps raising up.
Yeah.
We can get to Matt's failure now. But I mean, it really wasn't that much of a failure. Because the rule of 75 hard, if you miss any of the things, you have to start over
Yeah.
completely.
You gotta-
Which I actually applaud you for being honest about it.
It
Because
was,
he did all the work. He actually missed like one of the
I
easiest
missed like
things.
the easiest fucking thing, and it was just because I didn't prioritize it that day because we were busy. So I had to travel for work, and it was the real bullshit was I had to fly out Monday morning at like 5:30. I think my flight was. So I got up at 3 so I could go get my gym workout in first. Did that, flew out for work. We got delayed. Was stuck in the airport. Ended up not getting into Philly until like 7. We had a work event to go to, and so we went to this work event, and I was like, wow, I still have to get my outside workout in, and it's like 10, and the old Google map says it was 55 minutes to walk back from that event to the hotel, but you're walking through like some of the not so great places in Philly, so I was like, well, this place isn't going to miss one of these steak knives, so I took one of those, and then walked home with it, got back to the hotel, read, next day got up, worked out, got my... Oh, and then we worked out, and then we had just jam-packed, but we get to the end of the night, and again, it's like a 45-minute walk, 50-minute walk back to the hotel. So I'm like, cool. Walk back, same thing, walk back, read. I'm getting ready to leave, and then some of our executive leadership is like, hey, Matt, come here. We were just talking about this project and this other stuff and wanted to loop you in on it. I was like, all right, I got some time. So we start talking and I'm like trying to not be the dickhead, because it was one of those meetings where like you look around the room and everyone's at a certain level except this one guy who's like way lower and shouldn't be there. And that was me. And so I'm like, I don't want to be the guy who's like, hey guys, I'm going to go walk and read. I can't talk to you. So it ends up being by the time I leave, get done with them, leave and get back to the hotel, I got back after midnight. And so I still did my 10 pages like I read, but it was technically.
Well, so does
the
that
next
technically
day.
count though? Because you haven't been up for 24 hours.
I counted it as missing.
Oh, I actually think I would have given it to you. And I don't think.
What time
I don't think
what time
it's
did you
a
get up?
loophole.
I don't know. I got up at 5.
So technically, you'd have 24 hours until.
I mean, technically, you probably have 24 hours within that window. But for myself, I did it like because I was like, all right, if I'm not done by midnight, then I'm not going to count it. But it was also just, it was a stupid thing to miss out on because I had time during the day that I could have just read.
You might just want to wake up and read your 10 pages.
Right, like it's one of those things that you just need to get it done. And so, like looking back at myself, I was like, all right, well, that's just a lesson on prioritizing some of this easy knockout shit. Because like going a little deeper about it, like there's a ton of easy shit that's on my list of stuff to do every day. And as much of the easy stuff I can get knocked out earlier, like I try, but then sometimes I'm like, oh, that's super easy, like taking the trash out. I'll get it later. I'll get it later. And then I go to bed and I get up the next morning. I'm like, who the fuck didn't take the trash out yesterday? Oh, that was me.
Yeah, same guy that's driving 50 on the interstate, like we talked about last time.
Right. So that was my miss. I got everything else on, but I missed those
So
10
what day are you
pages
on
for
now?
that day. Well, I missed 4-ish.
Day 4.
Yep.
So
Are
like
you
we're-
waking up and reading now?
So you have to
Roll
pay-
out of bed
you
and
have to
read
pay
10
your-
pages?
Yeah, I'm reading when I get back. As I'm cooking breakfast in the morning, I'm going through and reading.
So
Make
now
sure I
let's
get-
be real. If this was day 72, would you have started over? Would you have counted the reading because you still got it in the
I
24-hour window?
don't know. I
He'd have freaking found something to read on the way back while he was walking.
right. I would have done. Yeah, I think getting that close and looking back at it now, I think if I had told them ahead, like a couple of guys in there, because they knew that I was doing this thing, if I'd have been like, hey man, like I gotta go because I gotta get this reading stuff done, they would have found a way for me to get out of there and to make it happen. But I don't know. I think at that point in time, I would have still counted it as a miss because in my mind, like I have until like that day, like that physical day to get all my activity done.
Yeah.
Did you have to pay? Was it $100 if you miss a?
Yeah, so I have to add $100
Just a running
to
tally.
Yeah, so it's just a running tally with Erin. So Erin's doing
Has she had to put
something
$100
like it.
in yet?
Oh yeah, she's up to like $1,200 right now. Yeah.
Is that subtracting your 100 then?
What? No, so she'll be at 11.
So
she's not doing-
Do you get 1,200 and then she gets 100, or do you get 1,100?
I'll get 1,100. It'll be the sum total.
I bet
that
you she
total.
tries to still take her couple $100 if you.
Oh yeah, she'll try.
She'll be like, no, you get 2,400,
Yeah.
but I get 200.
But we did have the conversation about like
Next thing you know, she's naked, boobs pressed against the window. Oh, can I have my money?
nope.
Liar.
But we did talk about that. I got back and I told her I had to restart. And I'm like, so if you want to, you can restart and like really do this thing, or I'll continue to do 75 hard and then you can do something like it. But it's not that 75 soft or 75 medium or 75 hard. So she's going to do something like it.
But you still have $1,200.
Yeah, I'll still go for, so the thing will still go for 75 days from when we first started. Will be that total.
What are you buying?
I don't know. I'm gonna see what I got. I told her what the buyout would be. It's $32,500 if she wants to stop or whatever I got back on Wednesday night.
You could buy a car.
Right? I'm like, so if you want to buy out, here's the
Like
cost.
now, it's like not like a very good car.
right.
So expensive now.
Yeah. But I told her like we can make a deal. Like I'll settle for half as a buyout right now. Just saying. So, but she's gonna keep doing something like it.
But it's good, and that's 75 hard is a good example. Like Tanner mentioned before we started, like you're gonna get off track sometimes, but don't just like fuck the whole week away. Just start over the next day. That's all
Right.
Matt did. He started over the next day. If you fall off your diet, okay, whatever, man. Just like get back on the horse the next day. Like,
Well, and that's where.
or if you like with diet, like, oh, I fucked up and we went out to lunch and I had a bunch of cheeseburgers. Okay, so just like finish the day like your normal diet would be. Like, still eat your planned meal for that night. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to just like throw the baby out with the bathwater and just like shit the whole thing away.
Yeah, like I had a cookie, so my day's fucked. So I'm going to eat a pizza. Like, I mean, that's how people's mentality is.
Or if you want to fuck the whole day, start again tomorrow. Don't be like, well, I fucked this day up, so the whole week's fucked. So I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? Like it's not like that.
Yeah, people do just like they like throw their hands up and like just give up.
Yeah, just
way
get back
too
on the
easy.
fucking train, dude.
And honestly, like I tell people, like if you know you're going out on Friday night, right, and you know you're gonna have pizza, you're going drinks or whatever, like you don't have to eat all your food that day. Just get your protein in. Get your protein in. Get a limited amount of carbs and fat. Your body can store carbs and fat. You can save it. Like you can't save protein. You can't bank protein, but you can bank carbs and fat. So like if you want, like if you know and you're trying to stay on something, and you keep it high protein, low carb, low fat during the day, you'll get your fat and carbs in that night. Promise. You're eating pizza, tacos.
Right.
Like, and it just keeps you from, if it would have been a 1,500 calorie miss or a 1,000 calorie miss and you get a 200 calorie miss, like that's way closer.
Yeah.
And you can just make those little adjustments. I have clients who love Nebraska football games. They tailgate, they do the whole thing. Like just wake up, drink a protein shake for lunch. I promise you, wings and beer, you're going to hit your calories.
Yeah.
Like you're fine.
Yeah.
Like you don't, like it doesn't have to be all or nothing. And if you want to get back on your food, do whatever. But like you can save calories. Like you can bank carbs and fat. Your body has the capacity to store fat. It's pretty obvious. Your body has the capacity to store carbs.
If you're not
Pretty
sure,
ob-
watch 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Yeah, you can store it, and your body will utilize it when needed. I do not even know what you're talking about, but I do not want to know.
You've never watched 1,000-Pound
dude.
Sisters?
No.
Dude, the doctor that's on those shows is
A
the
couple
best.
fucking manatees that ride around in a minivan.
They have lost weight though. The best is the one doctor that's on one of those shows, and the girl, I'm a picky eater. He's like, you weigh 400 pounds. You're not a picky eater.
Well, that's the thing. Like on some of these people, like your basal metabolic rate's determined by your size, right? Like if you weigh 400 pounds, like the amount of calories it just takes for you to wake up and tie your shoes, like just for
Right.
life, it's like over 3,000 calories a day. Like I don't know how you can't make a few changes in your life to lose weight if you want to.
Well, that's what we talked about, like beating genetics. You know what I mean? Like fat people beat genetics. You have to try to be super fat.
To get that big, yeah.
Yeah, you've actually accomplished something.
Yeah, nothing good, but
Yeah.
you did accomplish
Because
something.
to be that fat, like you have beat your genetics. Because if your parents, even if your parents are overweight, let's say they're both like 50, 60 pounds overweight.
Yeah, fat's not genetic.
Yeah, you have destroyed that.
Genetic. Yeah, fat is not genetic. Fat is lifestyle.
Yeah. But yeah, just don't give up on it. Just because you had a bad fucking day, just hop back on the fucking wagon next day, or
If you eat a
even
cookie,
if you've been,
yeah.
even if it's been like a rough week. Okay, man, whatever. Take the week, and then fucking next week you're back on the train. Just don't fuck it the whole thing away.
The problem for most people is when they fall off, they just throw their hands up and give up. And we've talked before, there's an unlimited amount of food that you can eat. Like it's just where your stomach stops, right? But you can eat with all the foods that are out there that are hyper palatable, super calorically dense, taste good, and don't fill you up that much. Like you can eat a Blizzard, 1,000 calories pretty
Had a
easy. I
Blizzard
mean,
in so long.
oh man,
Sounds
Blizzard
so
sound good, huh?
dude.
Or like if you go to Cold Stone, I think they have
71
some things
days.
on the Cold Stone menu that are 2,000 calories.
Yeah, it's called delicious.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Probably the name of it.
But you don't have to just like give up. Like
Yeah.
if you overeat by 10,000 calories in a week, right? 10,000. I mean, it's going to take you 3 weeks to make that up.
Right.
Like, so don't just like if you just give up, like you're pushing your goals back all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but just try and correct a little bit. Like just because you had a shitty day or a shitty meal doesn't mean just give up. Or you're just never going to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, don't give up on it. Keep track of them. You know, if you have a workout log or a diet log, just write it in there. Be like this day sucked. On to the next one. You know, like
Oh yeah, it cracks me up as people come in and they'll have their food logs for me. Be like, and then I see their scan and I'm like,
You're missing.
Did you log everything you ate? Well, not everything. And it's like I had a Starburst. You know, I'm like, and then all of a sudden you're like, and
Yeah.
No, I meant the whole pack of Starburst. I just said
A
one.
bag.
I just counted it as
Bag
one.
of Starburst.
You didn't let me finish. I said a Starburst bag.
Yeah, but just if you're going to make it a lifestyle, you're going to have ups and down days. You can't just give up if you actually
yeah.
want to. And make it realistic, like Tanner and I were talking before we even started today. Like lifestyle diets versus like some of these other diets people put out for people that are like made for like a bodybuilder. Like that bodybuilder diet serves a purpose for 15 to 20 weeks. It's not something you're going to do for life.
Right.
And honestly, some of those are just fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Also true.
Like
There's a lot of dumb people out there.
Or they make themselves feel way too important. Like, I need you to like wake up and sniff an oatmeal pack and then eat it, but don't chew too much. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's not that complicated, I promise you.
Yeah. So yeah, just keep rolling with it. If you're trying to make it a lifestyle change, but pick a lifestyle you are willing to do. We've talked about that before. What workouts you're willing to do, If you're not willing to do the 75 hard workout, that's fine. No one said you had to. You're not going to do Tom Havlin's workout. It's fine. You don't want to do box jumps. You don't want to do runs. Like, that's fine. There's plenty of things out there you can do. Find something that's doable for you and just stick with it and don't give up on it.
Well, and find something you enjoy. Like,
Yeah.
if you enjoy lifting, lift. Right? Like, you may have to do other things with it that you don't enjoy. Like, some people don't like doing any cardio, but I would say, hey, if you can walk on a treadmill for 20 minutes 3 times a week, it's going to make your life better. Like, you may not like that, but you're lifting 90% of the time. This is 10% of something you don't really enjoy, and sometimes you just wake up and you just don't sometimes you just don't feel good. Like, your body's beat up. Like I told you yesterday, I woke up, I was in a bad mood, was sore. I didn't want to do any of it. I did it. And I'll be like, oh, and I felt so much. No, I did not feel better afterwards. I was still irritated and I was even more sore, but it's like,
But you felt better than you would had you not done it.
I feel like I accomplished it and now I have a day off today.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I just had to get to my day off today.
Yeah, but if you got to today, like, you're probably still going to feel the same today. But if you hadn't done that yesterday, and then you get today, you're like, fuck.
I
why
felt
didn't
mentally
why didn't
accomplished,
just
but
get that done?
The best feeling of any workout, it's not, it's always not before. It's not when you're done. It's when you're almost done.
Yeah.
Like when we were doing that
Yeah,
ruck
like the
yesterday,
last 2 sets.
as soon as we were walking like through the parking lot to come in the back door of the gym, I'm like, "This is the best I'm gonna feel." Because you're just like pumped. You're like, I did it. It's done with.
You're 100% right, because I was in a bad mood until like I hit the last corner. I'm like, I'm almost home.
Because as soon as we got here, like,
Oh, I feel I'm happy now.
as soon as we got in here, I took that ruck pack off, and then I sat down, and then everything like stiffened up like right away, and I was just like, well, this fucking sucks now. So, but yeah, the reward is probably when you're almost done.
Yeah.
But long-term reward, it's there. Just stay with things. Don't give up on them.
Yeah, don't quit.
That's the thing. Don't be a quitter. Try to be a little better every day. That's the best message we got for you. Anybody else got anything?
That's pretty good.
I'm going to go ruck after this if anyone wants to. Just saying.
Yeah, we're rucking on Fridays usually if people want to jump in.
Yep. Fridays
you-
at noon-ish.
Ish. You don't have to have a ruck pack. Or you can just go walk. Doesn't matter. Maybe you're not ready for a weighted walk.
That's what Ron goes. He's like, so you logged a hike. He's like, you know what I call that? Walking.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of cool name, this whole Go Ruck thing. I mean, it's nothing like, it's literally walking. It's not like something spectacular we're out there doing. We're not carrying our comrades' bodies out of Vietnam. Like, we're not fucking.
But I
like-
guarantee, like, the three of us, like, if it was just like, hey guys, do you want to go for a walk on Friday afternoons? We'd be like, or we can smash Budweiser and play Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah.
But you add ruck to it, and it changes it just enough to make it
Cooler.
something that we want to do, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, and most of
Cool,
our rucks
yeah.
look like tactical, so that helps us.
super tactical.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Try to get better every day. Drive the speed limit or better. And,
More.
Yeah. And
Easy.
Unless you're in my neighborhood. Slow the fuck down.
subscribe, share, follow, whatever. Let us know what you guys want. If you want to have other questions answered, we'll keep trying to give some helpful tips here and there. But we appreciate you guys listening. We'll see you guys next time.